Hey guys, my name is Attorney Walter Knott with Disability Resolution PA. I want to go through real quick the top, this time 10 reasons that we're likely to see a fourth stimulus in the early part of the month of 2021 December. Here's number one, and we're just going to go through these really quickly. If you want to go watch more reasoning on, the top one reason, go watch the top one reason video, the top 3 reasons video, the top 5 reasons video. Now we're going to go through these top 5 rather quickly and then focus more on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So number one, the second Trump stimulus came out in December of 2020. So obviously Biden is going to try and match that. It was March, December. We got a March one from Biden. Now we might see one in December. Number two, the economy has not improved as they all thought it would, so obviously a boost in finances would help people go ahead and be able to afford things if they had to fix their car or they wanted to buy something or whatever. 3, broke parent holidays means angry parents and sad kids. So if people are going into the 2021 December holidays and they can't afford things for the kids, they're going to be very unhappy. Number 4, 2022 elections, almost as much at stake for the Democrats as the 2020 presidential election, because if Biden can't find a way to bribe the American people to like him more, then the problem is he could lose the Senate majority or the House majority, which means he becomes a lame duck president. So the 2022 elections are just like the 2024 elections or the 2020 elections. Number 5, Democrats have dropped, fumbled, tripped over, and fallen with their Biden White House. The trust and faith that a lot of Democrats have in, Biden's White House, it's low. It's extremely low right now. The approval ratings are not good. And, you could look at the manipulation of different, media outlets and stuff like that. But I think we can all agree that the media has been very pro-Biden and the screw-ups have been massive, massive. If we saw Trump doing these things, he would have been, I don't know, they would have tried to vote him out, not just 2 times, but 6 times, 6, liberal and Democrat are starting to delaminate, starting to split up. And that means middle ground voters, potential for Republicans, which normally would never happen. So what's happening is you have Republicans, you have the middle ground, and then you have Democrats. Except Democrats are now becoming these 2 things. There's Democrats, which is... nobody knows politically where this thing is going. And then there's liberals, right? People like me. And obviously some of the things I say are very Republican, some of the things I say are very liberal. And that's not really on purpose, it's just the way I feel. And some of you guys send me death threats because of that. I love you all, thank you so much. But the point is, the Democrats are having a hard time putting up a flag that the liberals can follow. And the liberals have started to question. Even some of the late night liberal hosts are starting to destroy and shoot down this Democrat flag. And that's because the point of liberals is to essentially create a place where people will be taken care of, will live a good life, and our furry friends, and will be able to move forward and become more of a society that's caring for our neighbors. And the inherent problem with the current Democratic Party is that its focus is no longer the American people, which means the base fundamental aspect of the Americans helping the Americans of the liberal identity, it disappeared. So now there's this delamination. Next one, 7. Republicans don't know how to get people to like them. They don't know online presence, and they are playing catch-up constantly. They might as well just pay you to be sitting at the table with you. So what this means is that they might as well just allow the Democrats to go ahead and push forward some sort of stimulus money in December of 2021 so that they're at least playing ball and part of it. Because if they kill it, then these parents are going into December of 2021 without money to have presents for their kids. And that's not smart politics. 8. The political poo-flinging is about to begin, so expect major distractions in the news. So there's major things going on in the news that you will never hear about. The whole Russia hoax thing, major things. They're starting to indict people. They're starting to begin the arrest process for going after people who are part of the whole Russia hoax thing. And the Democrats are sitting there going, yeah, the Republicans, they're evil. And the Republicans are sitting there and going, no, that was all a hoax. There was no Russian interference. And what's happening is the court systems are slowly starting to catch up. And what we're seeing as legal people is that there was a lot of manipulation and abuse that was criminal, federal level, illegal. All right. I'm not going to go into that because I know some of you guys are very sensitive, but if you want to go ahead and research it, please do. There's also another thing too, which is that, well, just know there's going to be a lot of poo-flinging coming up in the political arena to try and hide arrests that are going to be put out there, warrants, etc. Number 9, all freshman Democrats promising bills with the 200,000, 2,000 COVID boosts have started to pull back as Grandma Pelosi begins to shove the blue $3.5 trillion pill down Congress's throat, while at the same time having the backup pill, which is the yellow pill or the green pill or the whatever, for another $1 trillion. What's happening is Pelosi is beginning to corral all the Democrats together to pass the mega bill. We don't know what's in the mega bill exactly. We have categories, we have structural bullet points within those categories, but we don't really know what's going to end up in it. We don't even know what programs are going to end up in it. We don't even know if the SSI, Restoration Act is really going to end up in it in total, in partial, or not at all. We don't know. We know that they're pushing for that, and that's a very good thing. It's just the tax provisions of those particular bills that Pelosi is pushing are scary. Like the IRS has control in a new way that's never before been seen. Scary. And then to go back to the whole political poo-flinging thing, they now have some of the counties coming back with this whole voting thing again. I thought everything was over with the voting review to see like how many votes were good, how many votes were bad. It's coming back again. Just do some research on those counties that were problems during the 2020 election. It's coming back again. Number 10, and then we'll do the top 15. Stimulus payments have become normalized now, and if California can keep boosting, then people will start demanding the Fed start stimming them as well. So what's happening is this. California has led the way for UBI. Except California can't actually afford UBI without the federal government stepping in to fund it. In fact, the only reason California is not completely bankrupt right now is because the federal government stepped in and gave them a massive amount of money. And then it was advertised as part of the Gavin Newsom campaign that they were having this great windfall where they had so much money. And then Gavin Newsom won after he started to dole out that money as part of stimuluses directly for California, which is the precursor to my entire point as to why in December of 2021 we will see them apply the same logical theory, which is give money to the people and then pass whatever bill you want. And so the bottom line is that, let's call it like it is, Newsom just passed this new voting law, which goes into the type of voting that is extremely easy to use for cheating. In which case there were people, of course, during the Newsom whole voting situation that never voted, went there to go vote, and they said, you've already voted. And the problem is that none of it seems like widespread, because a little bit of cheating this way, a little bit of cheating that way doesn't affect the whole election. But as I've said over and over and over again, the American people that are Democrats and Republicans, you can give them money, but at some point, you can starve them and make them hungry, and that's what they're doing to us right now. They're making us more and more hungry because the money's worth a lot less. The dollar is worth significantly less than it's ever been worth. You need a hell of a lot more of it. It's being taxed more than it's ever been taxed, and now they're putting new provisions about how the IRS can interact with us. So what's happening is they're just squeezing us more. But when they squeeze us more, and then they have these new ways of potential for cheating, and it's like people always telling me about elections and voting. This was the most secure election that we've ever had. And then at the same point, they pull out their iPhone and they have to click an update because it's been hacked again. Every time you have to update your iPhone, most of the last updates you've done, which have been significant, have all been security breaches for the most secure system in phone technology. So my point is this: if you guys think the American people could be bought, you're right. That's what happened in California. If you think the American people should be bought, no. You're not a Republican, you're not a Democrat, you're something. I'm not sure. I keep looking at James Bond villains, and I keep seeing these amazing similarities. The manipulation of newspapers, manipulation of missiles being shot, manipulation of rockets going into space, manipulation of, raw materials. It's like our government is the ultimate James Bond villain. And the sad thing is, here's the really sad part of it. Most of the people, 99% of them that work in the government, are amazing human beings. They're not the ones making the bigger money. They're the ones doing the day-to-day jobs that need to be done. To process your checks, to help you, to push forward your claim, to make things happen, to get, you to that next level. Except the problem is this. It's the people that are at the very top who are able to change the direction of these agencies in a manner that hurts the American people. It's like the ultimate James Bond villain. The people working for the government, 99% of them are some of the most moral and ethical human beings we will ever encounter. Sure, there's a lot of bad apples, because it's the biggest company in America. The American government is significantly larger than Walmart. So the point I'm trying to say to you is that I don't think it's the people that are the problem. I think it's the very, very top of the mountain when it comes to the largest corporation probably on earth, being the American government. Just think about that. All right, guys. I don't care where you politically stand. I just wanted to give you my viewpoint on what I see going on. This is why I believe we're going to see a 2021 December 4th stimulus. If you like these videos, they open your mind to new things, please like, subscribe, please leave 5-star reviews. Remember, I go live and donate 2 hours every Thursday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to answer questions for those people who have already, essentially won their disability benefits, or they're not my client, they're somebody else's client, or whatever. I open it up then to answer any questions that, of people calling in. Some people watch the show and they get angry because I'm spending too much time with a particular caller. But here's the thing, and I'm not trying to be mean here, guys, but those 2 hours that occur, they're not really meant to be a show for you. They're really meant to be essentially a little bit of education in the beginning, a tutorial, how things are working in the government, what's going on in the economy, and then answering questions for people. So when people are like, get rid of that person, ignore that person, I'm tired of listening to that person, it's not really a show for you. It's literally 2 hours that I donate to anybody that wants to call in. If they started their way through things, they can't pronounce things, they can't figure things out, they're all over the place, they're scatterbrained, I get it. And I understand that's not a good show because of that aspect of it. But at the same time, anybody gets to call in. All you got to use is a fake name. But anybody gets to call in. And that's kind of my point here, is that I don't think that should become a show. I think it would cheapen it. I think what it needs to remain as is essentially a system that provides an interaction, a tube of communication between somebody else and me to answer something that I can't answer during the 9 to 5 period. Because 9 to 5, I'm working for the claimants, I'm working for people that I'm representing. So that's their moment. Even though I had somebody today who told me to go F myself because I couldn't answer their question right then and there, and I kept telling them, look, and they kept saying to me, I just have one question. I just have one. And they kept angry and more anger and more anger. And I'm just sitting there going like, dude, I've missed 4 phone calls while you've been screaming at me. And I mean, I didn't hang up on them because, my tolerance level is pretty high. But please don't be that idiot who's just so obnoxious that if I don't answer your question, and literally the person was represented by somebody else. It was a big box firm. They were pissed off at that attorney. And then they got angry at me because I wouldn't answer their question right then and there. And I told them, hey, look, Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. And I had to cut them off a few times because they just wouldn't keep I mean, I don't know if you've ever had like high salesman people try to interact with you where they just keep talking over you. That's what they kept doing to me over and over. And then finally, once they ran out of breath, I told them, look, I'm hanging up now. But if you want to call me 8 to 10, you can do that. I doubt they will because they're embarrassed now. But, All right. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Attorney Walter Naughton, thank you so much. Bye-bye.